So we see how Kenshin and Ryota have actually begun their second battle, but knowing how Kenshin has honor, he will not actually fight, but knowing how he is going to surrender, knowing how he actually knew that he'll give up, knowing of how serious that Kenshin can really be. But we knew how Yutaro is actually going to settle the score with Yahiko, knowing how they got their own battle ahead, which we knew how they actually had their battle one night, but then he realized that he didn't know how to use a bamboo sword, which he only trains with actual swords, which, knowing how Kao decided to train him, in which he asked his master to actually become her student, by which he gave him his approval, knowing of how he is going to allow him to actually become a student. So now he begun to train and actually told Kenshin about what he needs to do to become an invisible swordsman, invincible, in which put his own father to shame, which he was a honorable samurai, but he gave it up to sell his own swords to a merchant and leave his life behind, knowing of how he is actually putting everyone behind, which he actually have left his son behind, knowing how he isn't going to face his own family in shame. So now we see how Yahiko is battling Yutaro, in which he lost. So now we see how he is actually battling, which he's actually realized of how his jealousy get the best of him. But we see how the robbery has played out, knowing of how he needs to sell things himself, knowing of how Raijuta appears as he have actually begun attacking the others, knowing of how things could actually be dangerous, knowing of how it actually is, but he actually slash Yutaro's arm, which they took him to the hospital, knowing of how Sanosuke had actually told him about what his student has learned, by which they took him to the doctor, where they actually say that the injuries was actually healed, which they managed to stop the bleeding. But Megumin actually say that the nerves were severed, meaning that it is permanent, that he'll never learn swordsmanship ever again, knowing how he damaged his own student's arm. So we knew how Kenshin have actually battling Raijuta for the second time, knowing how he give up. But now Yahiko and Yutaro have gotten their battle, which his student won. But one night, we knew how his master set the stage of the robbery to get his student back, which at first we thought that he'd give him his blessing, but it was all a lie for him to actually get his student back because of how Kenshin is actually manipulating everyone. But he slashed his student's arm, causing him to lose all feelings of his right arm, knowing of how his student will never learn swordsmanship ever again. So now we knew how he'll never be able to learn swordsmanship ever again. So this actually is how he took things way too far, knowing of how he wanted to get Kenshin. So now we're going to see what is going to happen on the next episode next weekend. So anyway, like this video, subscribe for more, and comment what you think about the episode. You guys can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, and my Facebook page and Twitch. Until then, this is Anime Guy Joining you, signing out. Laters, and be safe.